me, it is Passenger Seat Radio. It is June 3rd, 2025. You're on my 13-mile commute home. Welcome to the show. Yeah, we've been under the weather in my household again. I don't know what the hell's going on. My son was sick for like 2 weeks. It's bad. I don't know what's going on. I have a feeling it's a lot of allergies, but shit, man, I don't know what to tell you. But I was so tired over the weekend. You know, part of the problem, of course, is my wife's home for the summer, which means all schedules are out the door, right? When we go to bed, when we get up, everything's a little wacky once my wife's on summer vacation. So we need a couple of weeks to sort of, dial that in. So we've got that going on. The puppy still isn't sleeping through the night, so she's awake at freaking 2:30, 2:45. I mean, I don't even remember the last time that I slept for a straight 4 hours, you know. I mean, I'll go to bed at 10, and about 2 o'clock, dog gets up or something happens, I wake up, whatever, you know. But my wife doesn't go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning now, so we got that. But anyway, so I was exhausted. Over the weekend, I actually fell asleep in the middle of playing Tainted Grail. It has nothing to do with the game, mind you. I was just sitting there playing. The next thing I know, I started nodding off, and it's like, well, shit. So the whole weekend, I was just my wife is actually in bed even as we speak. So I don't know what's going on, but I took the day off yesterday. I laid in bed, you know. It's still interrupted sleep, right? Again, I don't know the last time I had 8 hours of nothing but straight sleep with no interruptions. Don't remember. So I slept like half the day. I got up and, you know, slayed around and slothed around the rest of the day yesterday. And I was thinking about taking today off too. I'm just wiped. Even my coworkers are like, dude, you look like you're super tired. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding, man. It comes from not getting enough sleep. And then, of course, if I sleep during the day, if I have a nap or I go to bed early, my body just, I don't know, whatever. My body rejects everything. What can I tell you? So anyway, so that's why there was no show yesterday on the regular Monday afternoon drive on the way home time. So, yeah, lots happened since the last show. A lot of it I've covered on YouTube already, but I know not everybody subscribes to the channel and gets that information. But Thursday morning last week, my Google account was hacked. I had a very long live show, I believe Friday night, outlining everything that happened. So if you want the long version, the embellished version with the screenshots, and I mean, I put together a pretty decent show, I thought. And I do have a non-live trimmed down version that I need to upload. But so there is that. So if you want to know the full meal deal details, it's all there. Just, you know, conversationally speaking, along with slides and what I figured out about the hack. The root of the attack, of course, as usual, was human error. So, by the way, if you're ever asked what is the root of most security issues, it is human error. And nothing was more appropriate to say than that for this particular situation. Let me get myself into my cruising lane here. If people would stop cutting me off. Come on. Get past me. Thank you. Yeah, so it was my fault. It originated with me. And essentially, my Google account was taken over. All my recovery methodologies were changed. My family was disemboweled, and my YouTube channel was taken over by Bitcoin spam scammers. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. And I think it's more, along with being a cautionary tale, right? It's more about it can happen to you, right? That's my point. There were chinks in my armor, which I have now shored up. Unfortunately, most rules of security and security compliance are 100% written in blood, and this was no different. So I tightened up where I needed to tighten up. Yeah, I had two-factor authentication. Yes, I had a strong password. I had everything. And they got through by hijacking my cookies by getting me to run a piece of very good-looking code. In fact, I think it was, I don't want to call it 0 day because that gives me too much credit. But essentially, this is an old scam, but it's being done in a different way. Linus Tech Tips got hacked the same way, right? So that's a company, really. And I know he's got people that handle all of his email and the sponsorship shit. But essentially, I had like a 4 or 5 day conversation with a potential sponsor, and it came down to the end of, hey, before we send you a key to get to the game, we're going to have you sign an NDA, which is no problem. I've signed dozens of NDAs over the years. Doesn't bother me, didn't even faze me. But usually what they do is they send you files to your email, right? Here's the NDA. You need to open it and sign it. And had that happened, I would have given it a lot more scrutiny. But it was one of those, it was basically an entire facade of Adobe Sign. And if you use Adobe products, you're in business. Adobe Sign is a very standard tool used between companies to sign documents. It looked legit, and I even took a couple of precautions ahead of time, which, if you ever want to not believe ChatGPT, this was a perfect example. This is all covered in the video, by the way, because they exposed the link right there, Adobe Sign.app. The .app didn't really bother me because a lot of places are using .app these days. And I put the address into ChatGPT and said, hey, what can you tell me about this URL? It's like, oh no, this is a legitimate Adobe Sign, blah, blah, blah. So I fucking clicked it. And when it said, you'll need a, you can't do this on the web, you're going to need this plug-in type thing. Yeah, I downloaded it and ran it. And that's exactly when I got hacked. Well, within a minute or two. But I tell you what, I posted all the emails, I posted everything, and don't tell me if you would have got hacked. I believe that almost anybody, that didn't live in a security-laden world would have definitely done the same thing. And some of the things that didn't make the video, I did do deep dive analysis because I kept the executable that they had me download. It passed all sorts of malware and security tests, and it was digitally signed. I mean, they did a good job. Let's put it that way. They did a good job. And even had I had my antivirus on full, real-time scanning, which I typically don't, but now I do, it wouldn't have caught it, right? And I uploaded the executable to Virus Total, and only one of their 60 different virus scanners found anything interesting about it. And that was Kaspersky, however you pronounce that. They're the only ones that found anything wrong, and even then it was some sort of a generic deal. So there would have been no protection for me, right? Outside of simply not clicking the item, right? So anyway, so it took about 9 hours, and in the meantime, they overtook my channel, trashed it, put a whole bunch of Bitcoin shit up, started a live fake Bitcoin show, yada yada yada, all at my expense. And it took contacting the YouTube security team and Google security team to get my account back, to get my channel cleaned up. Again, cautionary tale for sure, but more importantly, it doesn't matter how great your password is. It doesn't matter how much two-factor authentication you have. At the end of the day, We're all vulnerable to a social engineering hack, and that's exactly what got me. You know, I had a strong password, I had two-factor, I had it all, and they still got in. So take that for what it is. That's the whole, I mean, that's not the whole hacking story, but enough that I don't have to sit and talk the entire show about it. So next up on the horizon, of course, this week is the Switch 2 release. We've talked a little bit about it. My wife did want one for her birthday, so I have one on pre-order. My pre-order from Walmart was not canceled. My credit card was charged, and my shipping information is in their system. So I should have one on launch day, providing, you know, the delivery makes it okay. So I asked the channel, right? If I asked my community, do you want to see Switch 2 crap on the channel? I'll have one. And I think it would be interesting to compare and contrast it against the Steam Deck. I am primarily a Steam Deck channel, and we get people in Reddit every single day. Should I get a Switch 2 or should I get a Steam Deck? Should I get a Switch 2 or should I get a Steam Deck? And it's not a cut and dry answer, you know. For a lot of people, it is. But in reality, and this is the angle I'm going to oppose my channel, is the Switch 2 is good for some, and the Steam Deck is good for others. And for some people, you're going to want to have both. For other people, you're only going to need one. And who are those people? What advantages or disadvantages are you going to have? And so I'm kind of excited a little bit. I mean, I really don't care, honestly. I mean, I know that sounds terrible, but I just don't care about the Switch 2. Let's say that it is a graphic powerhouse with 4 hours of battery life. I kind of don't care, right? I mean, let's say that all of the water walking that has been put out there, right? God bless the Nintendo fanboys, man. Boy, they love their Nintendo, and God bless them. They will defend anything and everything. And I remember when the Switch came out, there were people talking about it was going to be 4K and this and that, and you know, it could do no wrong and blah blah blah. And when it came out, there were people that were thrilled to shit with it because they could play a slightly higher resolution version of Donkey Kong or Mario Kart. And then there were other people that are like, yeah, I knew that was all bullshit, right? I mean, because that's kind of what we're talking about here is, you know, it was supposed to be this colossus. It was this great legendary thing. And then when it came out, of course, there was no possible way for it to meet expectations. So, and now, of course, you know, there's all this other crap going around, you know, they've gone full Gestapo. If they catch you doing anything on your Switch 2 that they don't like, they can ban it. It's all part of the EULA now. You have to agree to it. There's tons of things to talk about with the Switch 2. And so I'm excited to have something new to talk about on the channel, right? The Steam Deck is fantastic. There's always something new. There's always something fun going on. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't mind having a little something extra to talk about. And I really want the PC Deck person, right? I'm going to be the PC gamer with the Steam Deck companion. That's my angle, right? What does that person think of the Switch? How does the Switch augment or otherwise replace or whatever? Where's the power? You know, where's the whys, right? So I'm going to hopefully be able to bring some of that into the ecosystem a little bit. I'm gonna look at weird shit. I'm not gonna look at the same stupid shit that all the other channels are gonna look at. You know, I'm gonna be the guy that tests if you can use a corded mouse on the Switch too, right? Because if the Nintendo controller can act as a mouse and it's probably Bluetooth, then a Bluetooth mouse might work on the Switch too. So yeah, wouldn't that be fun? That'd be fun, right? To be able to drag a Bluetooth mouse with you on the go. Yeah, okay, so you could use the controller, but have you seen the people holding that shit? That does not look comfortable. Yeah, I'm going to compare and contrast some games, right? Hogwarts Legacy is on the agenda, right? People give the Steam Deck shit about how bad Hogwarts looked on it. What a mess! What a nasty mess. Meanwhile, I didn't think it was that bad. With a little bit of fooling around, but yeah, let's compare and contrast. Let's see just how great NVIDIA custom processor is. I'm interested. Let's find out together, right? So yeah, so that'll probably suck up my weekend. We are also going to Phoenix Fan Fusion this weekend. So it's the big Comic-Con, if you will, of Phoenix. It's huge. We got 3-day passes, but I only plan on going on Saturday. My son is going to take my badge on Friday and on Sunday and take a couple of his friends in. And he's planning on going for all 3 days. He's got a huge agenda planned. Me, I don't have a ton of... That's my thing. That's my objective of the Fan Fest, is to go chat with him a little bit. He and I corresponded. I'm sure I've told this on the show before. He and I corresponded back in the 90s when Mallrats came out. I was a huge fan of Mallrats. Bigger fan than Clerks, bigger fan, maybe Dogma. Dogma's probably better than Mallrats, but I built like a website, and this is back when people, weren't building websites. But I built a website for Mallrats. I used sort of some cutting edge technologies, and I made it look really nice. And he actually reached out and thanked me, and asked if I had any questions, blah, blah, blah. I could print a little interview with him on the website. So I'll be curious. I'll be curious if he remembers who the fuck did the first Kevin Smith related IP website, which I'm pretty sure I was first. I don't think there was a Clerks one. I don't think there was another Mallrats one out there at the time. So I'm kind of excited about that. That'll be fun to talk to him. I suspect he won't remember me, but that's fine. He's probably met a bajillion people, right? So that's what's going on the weekend. Hopefully I feel better. Jesus, I can't even imagine walking around a Comic-Con for 6 or 8 hours with how I feel right now. I'm just like totally drained. I'll be sleeping. But, with all the Switch hubbub going on and all that stuff, well, we'll see. I still have 2 giant videos I got to get in the can at some point. My mini PC that I installed SteamOS on, and of course my Unraid experience. I'm still excited about that. Oh, hey, I do have a follow-up, another interesting story. I'm going to stop at Samurai Sam's for dinner, so I have to cut the show short here in a couple of minutes, but there's nobody here, so either I'm talking to myself and it's not actually going, or nobody got an alert, so nobody showed up. Could go either way. Remember I said that I had 2 Seagate drives, 2 16 terabyte Seagate drives. One of them was essentially dead. The other one was mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead. All dead, there's only one thing you can do. Go through his pockets and look for loose change. But the mostly dead one I managed to get everything off of, and then Seagate accepted it for warranty replacement. And so the warranty replacement showed up on, I think, Thursday. Was it Thursday? Or maybe it was Friday. Anyway, the replacement showed up, and get this, dead out of the box. You plug it in and you hear scraping and clicking. Yeah, it was dead out of the box. That's unbelievable. And of course, it must have been on Friday, because by the time I got around to reaching out to Seagate, their agents were all gone for the day, and they don't do anything on the weekends, right? So I had to wait till Monday, after I'd crawled my sick, sorry ass out of bed. I got on with Seagate. It took like 25, 30 fucking minutes, man, for me to explain to them, look, it was dead out of the box. And so they basically are doing another warranty replacement for that drive. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. I am on life support with free space. I've got like 200 gigs across 6 drives. Come on. Let's help a guy out here, man. So I asked them if they would do an advanced drop ship with a credit card securing it. They said no. And I said, listen, you can't expect me to pay to ship back your dead out of the box fucking replacement. And like, no, we'll get you a tag so you don't have to pay for the trip back. I'm like, well, at least that's something. But what a pain in the ass. Jesus Christ on his throne. So now I've got to wait probably another week and a half until I can get another new drive. But anyway, but otherwise, everything's going pretty good with regards to Unraid and everything. I've got some new plugins to talk about. So it's very exciting. Everything's kind of settled down. So I've got new stuff to talk about with regards to that too. So eventually I'll get around to making those videos. I know a lot of my friends and a lot of people are actually interested a lot in the SteamOS mini PC. If you recall, I paid I don't know, $260 or something for this PC. It's a mini PC. You plug it into your TV, and it's a full-blown deal. Ryzen 5, I think, inside of it. So not quite Steam Deck, not quite up to the Steam Deck level, but not bad for $280. And I did Windows tests. I did SteamOS tests. I did a plethora of tests. So that's kind of fun and exciting too. So I'll get around to doing that too. But that's these Herculean videos, man. I'll tell you, it's crazy how much time these things take to do it right. I mean, I follow a lot of YouTubers, and I think maybe I'm fucking doing too much work, man. I follow a bunch of people that bitch about video games. Trying to think of who they are. Endymion, you know Endymion? Have you ever followed any of his stuff? So yeah, like I watch him, and there's like no fucking effort whatsoever put into his videos. I mean, I enjoy the guy until he starts talking politics, and then I want to shut his fucking ass off. But he's interesting to listen to, but his videos are just a bunch of gameplay videos. I mean, there's no text overlays, there's no charts, there's no graphs, there's nothing. It's either him, it's either video game footage or him scrolling around on a website. It's like, shit, dude, why am I doing effort on my videos when all I really need to do is sit and fucking talk over a video game trailer? Why am I doing all this hard work? But every time I try to do one of these, bullshit videos, like where you put like no effort whatsoever into them, I end up feeling guilty, right? I end up saying, fuck it, I'll put a little bit into it. I'll put this, I'll put that. Next thing you know, it's the same effort as if I had a bigger video. So it's like, fuck me, man. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, a lot of the Switch 2 stuff I'm hoping I can do a little easier, a little cleaner. We'll see. Probably not, though. All right, well, listen, you've had 20 minutes. I'm about to get to Samurai Sam's. I should probably get off of here before I have to actually navigate this intersection place with the outlets. It's terrible to try to park in there and move around. People are assholes. So, all right, that's it. Shame nobody showed up. A very strange episode. All right, that's it for me, Shane R. Monroe, Passenger Seat Radio. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.